Hello and welcome to Gaz's Gaming Channel. Today I'm going to be giving a bit of a review on Galciv 3. I've put a lot more hours into it. I've built myself what you could definitely describe as a mighty empire here, and that's it there. So basically, I thought I would give my review on this game. I'm going to be comparing it a bit to Galciv 2, which I did play a lot of. And the comparisons, need to be made because obviously they're very much similar games. I mean, I'd have to say exactly the same game, pretty much. Um, okay, so overall, how have I found my experience with Galciv 3? Uh, One word really sums it up is probably disappointing. There really isn't enough here to make me feel like it's advanced much beyond Galciv 2. Um, I'll give you an example. Would be the ship designer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you the ship designer. If I can find myself Starbase here. So we'll go into the designer, and yes, the graphics are definitely better, and it runs smoother. And I'd say it's probably a little bit easier to use, and there's some more interesting shapes. But I mean, really, it's incredibly similar, right down to the like all the parts are all like from Gal Civ 2. This method of sticking stuff on. I mean, I'm just going to bang that there. But like all of these wings, all of this, I've seen all these in Gal Civ 2, more or less. I mean, either that or they just don't look very different. Uh, I know there's styles and whatever, but yeah, that whole thing looks very familiar. There's a lot of customization you can do. I'm not gonna say that it's completely hopeless. It's just not really anything beyond what was in Gal Civ 2. Not really. I would have liked to see a lot more pieces, a lot more hull variations, the ability to make your own pieces. You know what I mean? Or maybe workshop type ability, like you're getting with City Skylines, where people can create their own ships and upload them and stuff like that. I don't know. It's 2015. I was expecting a lot more than what we've got here. The other thing that seems to be missing, which was in Gal Civ 2, which was that you could automatically update your own designs. I may have missed it somehow, but I played this game for like 20 hours or something, and I've not seen that. But in Galciv 2, you could design a ship, put your guns on it, and then anytime you got a new research tech, it would automatically update your guns, and you could just upgrade your ships. You wouldn't have to piss about. But I didn't find a way to do that in this, so in the end, I just didn't even bother with the custom designs, and I just used these ones here. You can see I got it like marked 47 of that ship, which is one of the early ones, and you know. I say the reason. I mean, I think there's more research I could do to get even bigger. No, I think I've got the maximum hull size. But anyway, there's more research I could do for defense and warp drives and all that sort of stuff. But I haven't really gone any further. And the reason for that is my biggest problem with this game is the crash to desktop that I've been getting. Now, originally, I found that this was caused by requesting constructors from a starbase, which is a bug that I've seen other people have had, and I was able to reproduce it, and I was also able to get around it. The first time I had it happened again, sort of further on in the game, and I ended up doing something differently. And anyway, it kept on doing it exactly the same turn, hit end turn, bang, crashed the desktop. There was nothing I could do about it. So anyway, the newest patch came out, 1.1 or whatever. I waited for that to come out, installed that, fired the game up, played through. Ah, wouldn't you know it? It went past it. I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, I might be able to actually finally finish this game. Play for another hour, crash the desktop again. Load up my autosave, get that turn again, crash the desktop. So basically, on the basis of that, I just can't recommend this game. I mean, it's so frustrating. I put hours into this civilization here, and I'm not going to be able to finish it because of this crash to desktop, and I don't even really feel like finishing it because at some point it might just not work anymore, and I'll put another 20 hours into winning this particular game, and that's not going to happen. So I mean, I feel like it was in beta for quite a while. These things should have been ironed out. And further, actually, I mean, another thing that I have a problem with is the fact that there's no bug reporting. Like it just crashes to desktop. That's it. It's gone. There's no opportunity to, send a crash report so they can fix this. No, I mean, and it's a 2015 game, and and I seem to remember there was a very similar issue on Gal Civ 2, where it would where it would crash the desktop, and I'm sure they did fix it in the end, and I've no doubt they will fix it in the end on this. But you know, it surprises me that it doesn't automatically submit a bug report on something this complex with all these variables and whatever. So, if I want to, I could go on the forums and put all the stuff on myself. But why should I have to piss on like that? Right, that's that rant out of the way. Let's get on with some of the more core gameplay stuff. I'll tell you another thing actually that on my original Let's Play, I didn't realize how far you could zoom this out. But that is definitely a problem I've had. Is that as I've got bigger with my empire, when you zoomed in, it's very difficult. There's not really much in the way of landmarks. Now, if you notice the background, it's all just this parallax star shape. And I think they could have done a bit more to sort of or maybe like you paint areas or designate things or something, so I could get a big brush or something and just go bang, this here's my front line, just so that I would know where I want to send all my units and stuff, because there's quite a lot to manage here, which brings me to late game empire management. I mean, I'm not seeing anything here that wasn't in Gal Civ 2. And Gal Civ 2 got annoying in the late game because there's just too much shit to manage. Too much like, oh, you've captured this colony now, I've got to fill out all the things. And in the early game, that's fun, because you want to get your maximum production. You want to, But in the late game, you're just like, I don't give a shit. Make it a production planet. Make it a research planet. I want to be able to just click a button like that and say I'll have that one be that. There should be some sort of technology I can get later on in the game where it makes these things easier to organize, but that's not there. And then onto technology. I'll show you the tech tree. Yep, technology. It's I can't see any technologies here other than these sort of specializations, which I quite like the idea. I do like the idea, but other than this sort of specialization mechanic, the technologies are all the same as in Gal Civ 2, and it doesn't really feel like they've put any effort in, if you like. I would have liked to have seen some more ideas here. I mean, there's been a lot of other games since with a lot of different ideas. Oh, and there's the mine, and that's another thing. I don't like. I mean, I don't really like the way they've done mining in this. I like the idea of having these special resources and having to put a starbase next to it. Yes, but something else I liked in One of the things I did like in Gal Civ 2 was having my miners go out and colonize all these asteroids and and making use of them. But in this, they just don't do anything. And the other thing is as well, it made the space in Gal Civ 2 a bit more distinctive with these lines going everywhere. So it made these things easier to identify. And I just find in this, often I'll produce a ship and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to zoom right out just to know where to send it because I don't know where the hell I am. Because it's quite big, this map. I'm not playing on an immense one, and I would play it bigger, but it was my first game, so I figured I'd. And that's another thing that makes me sad, to be honest, is that I'm giving up on this after my first game, just waiting for them to patch it, so that it's. I'm gonna leave it 6 months before I play this again because I don't want to get frustrated by another crash to desktop type issue. Okay, so I've covered that, covered the tech, covered the end game. I mean, that's the other thing as well. I mean, I'm not even really at the end game and yet. Look at how much of this galaxy there is still to conquer. And already, it's getting tedious managing. That there should be better, tools for managing this stuff. I mean, I do like this area here on the right hand side. Ticking down whatever is completing each turn. I quite like that. It's better than the sort of old pop-up that you used to get in Gal Civ 2. But there's not enough late game management stuff, and I think that could have been an area that could have put a tech tree in. Oh, and other things that are missing is the espionage. I can't say I'm too arsed about that. That was just used to piss me off when my technology was stolen. But and I gather they're going to put it in a later version. I don't know whether that's going to be DLC or what. So yeah, that's not even there. The espionage thing, the diplomacy. Well, it hasn't really come anywhere. I mean, if these guys do have these traits do really make all that difference, it doesn't seem to be any. I mean, I don't think I've seen any of these guys behaving irrationally towards us, and I seem to remember in Gal Civ 2 they did have a horrible tendency to gang up on you, and that hasn't actually happened in this game. So I don't know, maybe it's worse, but I mean, diplomacy options fairly limited. I do like the diplomacy screen. I do like the sort of faces and what have you. I don't, you know, like when you, well, it's nothing you don't get in Civilization. Obviously, that's the thing. But you don't really have a lot of options here. It's pretty. It doesn't really go beyond that Civilization formula, you know. And I think they could have done some more interest. I mean, I think what it just shows is they didn't have enough time to do everything that they wanted in this game. And what we've basically got is a new engine, nicer graphics, but ultimately, functionally, it doesn't really make that much difference. And it's the same game. So I mean, I'm disappointed. I would like to see some of these issues addressed. I would like much more late game management tools. That's another thing I thought was shit was the rally point system. Like for example, if I want to get all my ships from my home planet, which is here, not that you would know it, except this tiny little fucking crap. I mean, why isn't this should be something huge here, going? This is my home. Like, you know, they could have my big, you know, in the background, big, massive, translucent, you know, sigil of my house or whatever. Boom, this is Doomland of the Doomologists. You know, they could have something like that, but they don't. Anyway, so in the shipyard, you can set a rally point, but you have to pick another shipyard or another planet. And I mean, I don't really like that. What I want to do is I want to just set an area of space, which I could in Galciv too. I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter that much, but it's an extra few clicks that I wouldn't have to make because then I'll have to, when they all get there and I want to go and pick up some ships and put them into a fleet, I'm going to have to go to the planet, launch the ship or whatever, yeah, then move it when I want it, rather than just sending them all to the same square and just having them group up automatically, which is something I do like. That the fleet management is a bit better. You don't have to piss about as much in the fleet management now. Oh, that's something else I wanted to cover was the combat. Combat is looks a lot better, but it doesn't really you know, there's no tactics involved or anything like that. So let's see if we can do some combat. Yeah, I'll do some combat. I'm going to attack this starbase, eh? Here we go. I've really got to stop doing that breathing in thing with my. Never mind. Anyway, we're going to attack this. We'll view the battle. There's no tactics. You know, I mean, other than your fleet composition, you know, where I've got a carrier here launching fighters, so it'll have to hit the fighters first. Other than that, and your weapon selection, there's no real tactics here. And like, you know, there's been other games like where, you know, I mean, like I would like to have some tactics. I would like to be able to maybe tell some ships to stand off. I would, you know, or some other ones to go forward. Some tanks to, you know, steam in there, take all the hits. But they've just not really done anything with it. It's just a complete lack of imagination. Galciv 2 was a great game, but this feels to me like Galciv 2.1, not rather than Galciv 3, especially considering the time worked on it. So I mean, I'm going to wrap the video up there, but basically that's how I feel about it in its current state. If you loved Galciv 2, yes, you'll probably like this, but will you feel like it's, you know, the true successor? I don't know. I mean, obviously, when I think back to when Master of Orion 3 came out and everybody hated that, I sort of liked some aspects of it. I didn't like other aspects, but at least they tried to really do something a bit different with it, you know. And I know you've got to sort of, you know, stick to the formula to some degree. I do feel like there should have been some innovation. They should have taken the bits that, well, I don't know. Did they not play enough of their own game? I mean, they must have realised that you know, when it gets a late game, there's some significantly draggy bits of, you know, shit that you just have to do. You know, you feel like some sort of click worker or something like that. You know, at times in Galciv 2. And I would have liked to have seen that removed. You know, slimlined down or whatever in Galciv 3. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I will catch you later.